I'll tell you, you guys might not come back to Crail after whatever happened on the second hole yesterday.
That was the most horrifying golf experience of my lifetime.
Nobody. I mean, you can tell the story from my I thought it was fun. I didn't realize how crazy it was.
It was awful.
There was shit going on everywhere, man.
Tell them what
So
happened.
this course, for whatever reason, I guess it's one of the oldest courses. I think it's the 7th oldest like golf course in the world. So like all the holes like kind of intertwine in like many areas. Like you'll be on a green which is right next to a fairway, and then another tee box is crossing another fairway. And we were on the second hole. It was me and Bob versus Perez and Rick, and Bob put one into the beach, so we couldn't use that drive. And then I put one even further, but on the left, but it was in play. So this is a normality for us that we don't necessarily hit straight shots. So we go in our they call it a buggy, and we go down to get our ball, and there's just happening everywhere. There's two guys on the tee box right next to us. There's people behind us. There's ladies coming into us, and we were in the line of fire, and we were trying to film and do something. And this old Scottish. This guy was not in a good mood. He clapped at us like bad, and Bob looked like he wanted to crawl in a hole.
I was a deer in the headlights because what made it worse is you then were pissed at them.
Well, I mean it's
and I just wanted to get out of it. What started it was I was driving, and when I went over to this hole, I just had no regard for. I didn't see that they were teeing off right beside us, so we were right in the middle of the fairway. We had our balls there. I couldn't go back because then there was another group coming to the side. So I couldn't go back. So we were stuck, and we couldn't just hit our shots because we had to wait for the camera guys to get over to us to film the shot.
Nothing we could do.
So while we're waiting, this guy's just teeing off on me. And then Joe's getting pissed at him.
The guys who should have gotten pissed were the guys on the tee box.
Yes.
And they were actually really nice.
I agree.
The guy behind us was a prick because he couldn't even shoot yet because people were on the green. So that's why I got upset.
You know what?
I'm like, what can
I'll
we
be
do?
honest. I made the mistake of going into that fairway. That guy was out of line.
He was.
He was, and I kept giving him the I'm so sorry. It was terrible.
Bob could not wait to hit his ball.
I couldn't wait to get out of
rolled
there.
back when you guys made it back to the fairway. He was like pacing back and forth. He's like, worst golfing experience of my life. Worst golfing experience. He's like, that
awful.
moment he was rattled.
I
dude.
was shook.
Yeah.
I really was, and I think it'll be hysterical, but. I was really shook, and also we couldn't even see the flag.
No, we had no idea where we were going.
No clue where the hole was.
You
And
just
then
shot and tried to get out.
I just picked up a club. He's like, Bob, we got to get a yardage. I'm like, Joe, A, we don't know where the hole is. B, I don't give a fuck what I have. I'm getting this out of here.
Sam and Matt were dying.
They were
of laughter.
cracking up, which made me feel better that they weren't as worried. And then the Godfather, Rick, had to go over to them and just like apologize.
It was like they apologized to him when he went over.
This guy walks on water. But I was really, and then it took me a few holes to kind of get back into it. I was really, really sure. It's something about, if you get into it with somebody in the States and in America, it's different. Like, you kind of know how to maneuver it. Doing it in Scotland where like they just like respect the game so much and like that type of stuff, it enhanced it for me times 10 because you don't want to disrespect anybody, but especially out here, you just don't want to disrespect these guys.
Yeah, and they have to, it's hard to even communicate because everyone like the sayings and things, like the casual sayings are different. So they could say something to you that like it's like sarcastic, but you don't even know the phrase they just used. So you're just in this like, you just apologize. You sit there and apologize. And I mean, yeah, it was tough. The course is running back and forth. So, you got a hole that's coming. Our hole's going out. You got a hole coming down. And you got another hole coming up. And then you got a tee box coming down. And Joe somehow goes across all of it.
It was a terrible shot.
And just not knowing the course, not really maybe looking. When you drove off, you got to look up there and be like, "Am I crossing anything?" So,
we didn't look at anything.
yeah, he just went.
And
I
we were
looked back
and
there.
we were parked. I think if we had walked, it would have been different. But we had the buggy right. The cart was right in the middle of everything.
I mean, look, if you would have looked at all, you would have let the ladies go.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Then you would have gone across and looked at the other guys, let them go, and then get to the tee.
That
would have taken a minute.
Yes.
Right, and it would have been brutal. But
We looked up and we realized we were in the
Yeah,
crosshairs. And we're like, oh my god!
I looked back and I saw that you guys were already there, and I was like, oh no! Like they didn't look at anything. If they're already at their ball, they didn't look at
And
anything.
exactly after that hole, Bob's like, I'm not driving anymore.
I switched to
Yeah,
Joe
I
had to
was
drive.
wondering. I
I
saw
was
on the
shook. I
footage
really
you
was.
drive the rest of the
I was
guys
really,
to
really
switch.
shook. And the thing is, too, Joe hits it so far that when he hits it left, the ball goes such a long
so
way.
far.
So on a link style course, like you could find yourself
Yeah.
on a completely
Well, it's the
different
biggest
hole.
piece of property on that whole play. It's like if that's any other normal golf
Yeah, it's
course,
gone.
you're in another county
Yeah,
hitting
yeah.
it that far left.
Yeah.
You're over the trees, over a pond, and into another set of trees that far left.
Rick
And it
did
was
say
just-
left is fine.
yeah, and yeah.
Do you know
we went
how
left.
many balls I've left on these courses? Balls that were so easily findable that I just didn't want to go over to go get. And
hear
Joe will go out and he'll get at me. Like if it's over there, I'm just like fuck it. Like let's just keep it moving. And I don't want to deal with all of that. That was my worst nightmare. But when I saw Sam, their producer on the behind, cracking up,
crying
it did.
laughing.
That mellowed me down a little bit. So I was like, all right, well if they're not worried, but it was. While we're waiting, this guy's just
I can't even
I
recall
told
what
you
he
what
said.
what Rick told me the guys said, right?
What did
No.
he say?
When Rick went over and apologized to them, like when we were done with the hole, they had like gotten up to the green.
There we go.
He's like, I'm going to go over and apologize to him. And he comes back and you guys were like, was everything fine? He's like, yeah, no worries. No problem at all. And he gets in the cart with me and I was like, so how did that go? And he's like, not so good. He
Are
was
you
like-
serious? He told us it went great.
What did he? Jeez, what did he say?
Oh my god! He told me last night. I forget what he said.
He walked up, the guy's just like, that's my fault. Like, don't be mad at them. It's totally on me. They hadn't played the course before, and like, I didn't tell them where to go. And he's like, well, by the judge of their move, it didn't seem like they've played golf before.
The guy was a prick. He was an absolute prick. And I maintain that.
Dude.
That guy can kick rocks, man.
Like our golf swing.
Like your etiquette, your golf etiquette.
That guy.
Yeah, like
Bob's rattled all over again, man.
I ain't rattled.
You're definitely
That guy was that guy can kick rocks.
but that's what was making it harder for me. Was Joe was then getting pissed at him, and I'm like, Joe.
He's being aggressive with us, and we were
was
being
like, Joe-
apologetic.
No, he
Normally,
was
when
at-
you're apologetic, somebody would be like, "Okay, he was coming
But
at
you
us
know
harder."
what though, Joe?
I'm like, who is this guy? He doesn't own the
You're in
course.
foreign soil. You abide.
But we both apologized,
the
Bob.
thing,
No,
though,
we
Joe,
were not-
Joe, if you were them,
Oh,
you would be losing your mind.
If somebody
You'd be like,
apologized-
what's this guy doing? Like, we're trying to play a hole. He doesn't even look at it where I'm going. I was over my
absolutely
ball. I had to back off this guy. He's not even on the right hole.
has this
Get
guy
a
ever
clue
played
here.
golf before?
It's 100% true.
You've got that
1,000
smirk, you know it's true.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have been mean about it.
Oh, Joe.
looks
I
like
probably would have cracked a joke or two, but I don't know if I
This
would have been
guy,
mean about it.
man, I was over the ball.
You would've told Rick.
You would have hit a bad shot. You would have blamed it on him.
Yes.
It was 100%. Like, if I didn't have to back off because some idiot can't hit a fairway.
and then you would have told Rick that it seems like they've never played golf before.
I don't know if I would.
That's such a Scottish jab back.
Yeah.
Just haven't played the golf course before. Seems like they haven't played golf at all.